consider various types of mentoring. The typical traditional mentoring is the one I've been describing, where it can be one-on-one. Typically, you have a senior level person working high potential new employee, and you want to make sure that that person, can basically experience some wisdom and information sharing from somebody that's been experienced in the organization. That's what we call traditional mentoring. But our research has indicated once you go out and start doing that, when we would go back to senior level people and ask them how that mentoring relationship was going, they would give us feedback that says, what? I'm actually learning as much or more from my mentee or the person that I'm mentoring. And a lot of times it will be, since I'm older and I may be in the baby boom generation, I may be mentoring that's a millennial or now even a Generation Z. These are young folks that grew up in front of smartphones and social media and mobile technologies, etc. And so they're teaching me how to use that technology. So a big part of this is, in our research, is you'll see reverse mentoring take place. It's a two-way street back and forth. So that's one-on-one or reverse mentoring. You could also do one-to-many. A lot of times if you're conducting, let's say, a leadership development program or some other employee development program, and you want to follow that group so you can reinforce the effectiveness of that training, you can do one-to-many instead of just one-on-one. And then this final thing is where you have many-to-many, where you can actually use peer groups to reinforce and mentor other people, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So here are some best practices that we can share with you, sort of like benchmarking tips. If you're setting up a mentoring program, number one, it's simply to start slow. Don't try to do a big ribbon-cutting ceremony. I often call this sort of like the Bill Gates when years ago they launched the first Windows program, and he was standing on the big stage and he hit the button and the whole system crashed. I can assure you that if you're going to a mentoring program, even though you may want to announce it and do a lot of stuff, start slow and start with maybe a beta or a pilot program, and don't risk everything if out of the gate it doesn't work exactly like you want. Another topic that we talked about is to get top-level support. But it's more than just getting a letter from your CEO or some kind of a comment in an all-staff meeting. If those people at the highest level can actually be involved in the system, that will reinforce other people wanting to participate and join in the system itself. Another thing I talk about is try to find people that will be great mentors in your organization. And there's a difference between what I call a developing mentor and a rainmaker. Typically, a rainmaker we use in North America as a term, somebody who brings the goods in, gets the big deals closed. It's typically used in sales or sometimes in technology to say, this is the person that really makes things happen. But in many instances, these people, even though they're very competent individually, may not always be the best person to develop others. So when you're thinking about setting up a mentoring program, always look for people who have developed other people. How do we find those people? You can actually go out and do a survey, or you can simply go around and ask people, in your career in this organization, is there anybody here that helped you out, gave you advice, and did that developmental role? And a lot of times you'll find some people that could be potentially great mentors or coaches within your organization. And then the final thing we say is, again, don't leave it up to chance. Just because people may be good developers, you may have good subject matter experts out there. We always encourage people to train your mentors and train your mentees.